On today's video, we give you a review of this. But first, the intro. So what we got here, as the astute of you will already have figured out, is a streaming media rearview mirror, which is essentially a backup camera that is built into a rearview mirror. This one here is the Toguard CE60, which has a few other nice features that I'm going to show you in a second. But first, the unboxing. So despite the fact that it is made in China, as all of these rearview mirrors are, I couldn't find a single one made by any well-known reputable company. But they've really stepped up their game. The box is nice and heavy. It doesn't feel cheap at all. This sleeve is actually also a very nice thick cardboard. It's in good shape. You can see it has a 10-inch screen. This one actually has dual cameras, so it records both a front view of your vehicle as well as uses the backup camera to record the rear view. You can see it has loop recording, so it'll record over itself on the memory card over and over again, which is important because some of these cameras don't have loop recording, which means that once the SD card fills up, it stops recording without warning, which is not particularly helpful if you get into an accident after it stops recording. It's a touch screen, and it also is a wide-angle lens, or has a wide-angle lens, rather. Honestly, the only way you can tell this box came from China is this really poor font they always seem to use. If they just bought a decent font, you honestly wouldn't know that this came from China. The box is extremely nice. Honestly, it rivals what you'd get from Apple, which I think is pretty high praise. Foamy. Here you got the main unit, which is also the rear view mirror. So, you can see that when it's off, it functions as a normal rear view mirror, the reflective surface. It's actually more reflective than that. It has a protective film on it still, but we'll leave that on until I finish installing it in the car. It attaches with a set of straps. I'll show you those in a minute. They go around your existing rear view mirror, and this whole enchilada here clips over it. So it really should install in virtually any vehicle. You can see here it has the front-facing dash cam. So when this is mounted on your rear view mirror, it records the road in front of you. This is also adjustable outward to give you the view that you want, and you can see here that this also pivots around, again allowing you to adjust what the field of view for the front view camera is. Also included in the box is your power adapter. Your standard adapter here fits into most any cigarette lighter or power port. Just appears to be a standard mini USB connector. Looks to be nice and long though. That's helpful. We have the straps that I alluded to earlier. They go around the back of the mirror to hold it onto your existing rearview mirror. It also appears that they've included a spudger for some reason, possibly to help move panels around to hide the wires. Here we have the rear view camera, which is also waterproof in this case, which is nice because I'll be mounting it outside my vehicle. You can see it's quite small. Shouldn't be too hard to hide. It is a 1080p backup camera. You can see it detaches here from the wiring harness. has a proprietary 4-pin barrel connector. Now, having looked at other people's comments on Amazon before I bought this, they said this included cable was quite short. So what I bought is this optional one that you can get that is 23 feet. So it's longer. Now, it's a bit of a misnomer because this is sold as an extension cable. It's not an extension cable, because as you can see, they're not going to plug in together. What it does is actually it replaces the one that comes with the camera, and you simply use the longer one. So you're not getting additional feet in addition to this one, you're merely gaining length in a single cable. Little rear view camera seems very decent, very nice and tiny. It shouldn't be too hard to find a way to mount this to the back of my truck. What else do we have here? A 3M adhesive pad and a couple screws to mount this with. And some form of literature, perhaps? Be unusual for a Chinese product to come with anything useful. A dash cam recording sticker. That's not particularly useful. Surprise! By sharing your experience matters. Apparently you can redeem this for a free accessory by leaving an honest review of the product. And there you go. Might have to do that. Assuming this is a favorable review, of course. And then it comes with your standard installation and detail manual. So, there you have it. That is the contents of the box of the C60. Next, we'll pop into the truck and we'll see how it works. So here the mirror is mounted in my cab. As you can see, it clips over the old mirror in order to mount itself with the straps around it. You can see my mirror isn't covered perfectly by it, mostly because the camera piece doesn't allow it to slide all the way to the center. I'm gonna fix this issue by simply picking up a narrower mirror for my vehicle that clips over a little better, but honestly it doesn't look so bad. I still need to zip tie these two cables up together to make them a little more visually appealing. But overall the installs went very easily inside here. It wasn't so bad. It will vary depending on vehicle, of course. I was able to easily run my wires up and along the inside edge of my roof liner. Then I popped this piece of trim off and ran it down and through the dash into the engine compartment. I'll show you that later. The mirror itself is very reflective. I have no issue with that. When it's off, you could definitely still use this as a rear view mirror. However, the beauty of it is, once it's turned on, you can see it comes up with the emblem. And then there, that's my rear view mirror. And it's a perfect mirror of the fence that's directly behind me. Nice, crystal clear. It's not really laggy at all, so when you're driving, it really is, for all intents and purposes, a mirror. You cannot tell the difference. When you put the vehicle into reverse, you can see it will automatically dip down. So now it's looking further down, and you can see it gives you the parking lines. That is one of my few criticisms about this mirror, is that you are unable to calibrate where these are in relation to your vehicle. With some of the more expensive and high-end double-din stereos, for example, that have backup cameras, you're able to calibrate these with distances from your vehicle. This you just kind of have to figure out yourself. So for me, for example, this last red line is about 2 feet-ish off my bumper, which for me is just fine. I know it's there, I know the distance, you figure it out, you work with it, not a big deal. You can adjust this very easily where it sits when you're in reverse. So you can go all the way down here. You can see just the end of my hip hitch there, right at the bottom of the image. You bring it up anywhere you want in there, so you're able to move it. Likewise, when you're regularly driving forward, you can adjust how far up or how far down you want to see this image. You can see the odd flash there, SD card insert. I don't have an SD card in it yet, so it's not recording as a dash cam. I've just been using it as a rear view mirror. It stops flashing after a minute. It's not really an issue for me. See, it stopped. You can see that it's very easy to toggle between front and rear view. See front view on it, which is honestly crystal clear as well. No issues there. The menus are very easy and simple to use. Touchscreen is responsive. Really, I can't complain about the quality of the screen or the image on it at all. You can see it throughout the time and date up there as well. It's a nice feature. There's a GPS module you can buy for this as well, and it will GPS stamp your location as well. I can see that being very useful if you had to prove where you were or where you weren't at a certain particular moment of the day. Overall though, this is a really nice unit. I'm very happy with it. It makes driving so much easier with a canopy on your truck that you can't see out of. One of my other criticisms of this kit is that it only comes with the auxiliary adapter. To get the regular power supply that you can wire in under the dash, you have to pay extra for an entirely new adapter, which is kind of annoying, and there's an easy way around it that I'm going to show you what I'm going to do at the end of this video. I routed the wires for the camera all the way underneath the vehicle, following some existing wires to the back, and you can see here I've mounted the camera unit itself just below my bumper and above my hitch. The unit came with a bracket that I had to modify. I had to bend it 90 and reverse it, because you cannot mount this camera upside down. If you mount it upside down, you get an upside down image up front, and there's no way in the camera software to reverse it. A little bit annoying, since it would have fit really nicely as it was without being modified. So I bent it and then used the 3M sticky pad it came with to stick it to the bumper, to the hitch here, and then stuck a big zap strap around it, big zip tie here, so that it is nice and secure and gives me a nice view out the back, and it's completely hidden. You can't see it when you're standing above, which is really nice. I also wired the trigger wire from the camera into my trailer wiring here, which was a really easy spot to pick up the reverse lights. Otherwise, you just have to run a wire up into one of your reverse lights here. And what that does is that's the trigger for what I showed you when you put it into reverse, and it shows you the backup lines as well as dips the image down for you. That's what triggers it. So overall, I'm exceptionally happy with this purchase and this product. It seems to work really, really well. I can't complain overall. My one other gripe with it would be the length of the wire it comes with to run to the back camera. Now, I knew that it was short from reading reviews for it, so I bought their extension cable, which isn't an extension at all. It's just a longer cable. It doesn't extend your existing one, and the longest one that they sell is 23 feet. And that was literally like within an inch the correct length to run from the back of my pickup truck to the front here. So it would be nice if they actually sold a real extension cable for it. And other than that, I really can't complain too much. The quality of the trigger wire for the reversing camera was fairly iffy. Like, it was really, really low gauge and difficult to strip, but honestly, for the price and everything, I can't complain. This is a really good product, and I wholeheartedly endorse this. So this is my solution to not wanting to buy the extra wiring kit. This was, I think, $9 shipped from Amazon. It's just a simple 12-volt socket, so the adapter that it has will plug into this. I can wire this in behind my dash, and I can just tuck the whole thing up underneath, and then you'll never see it. It'll work just fine, and it'll let me tap in wherever I want. It's a nice, cheap, and easy solution.